All right, Alex, 5 minutes on the clock. Let's have a special episode of Opt-In today. We're going to be taking, the typical 5 minutes to talk about conversation intelligence, but in the context of the on-demand event that we've recorded with Nishit Asnani over at Sybill, where we cover a bunch of different use cases for conversation intelligence and have one pretty major takeaway that we'll cover in this episode. But I wanted to get into some personal takeaways. You, as I guess the first listener of the episode, kind of working in the background, were able to take in a lot of the insight and advice that we dished out. So I'd love to learn what you learned during the recording.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, aren't all episodes of Opt-In special?
Okay, fair.
Okay, but
like children, you can't pick your favorite.
Exactly. That's a lot of children. Anyway, it was definitely a really interesting conversation. I love when we have guests on that talk about stuff that's really on the forefront technology-wise. And you can do some speculation, like kind of explore where it's going, but also see a lot of the tangible things that someone could take and use today. So I thought it was really cool. He walked us through a little bit of Sybill, his platform, and there's other conversation intelligence tools as well. But the way I sort of saw it is it's a much better way to practice and review your work. I sort of think about it like when I was in high school playing basketball, we would like maybe get kind of grainy, low quality game footage that we could watch and be like, okay, do this next time, do that next time. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you get to something like the NBA, they've got like the metrics that track how many miles you run in the game. They know how much like sweat you perspired, right? A lot more details about how you performed in order to take those notes and do better next time and moving forward. So to me, I think this it's like a huge step up from just the call recordings, right? That SDRs are used to, where it's like, yeah, you listen to it and your manager listened to it and here's some anecdotal feedback. Like, that's good. And when you can get it, that's great. But there's things that technology can do that enable us to take that so much further and really be able to analyze and put data behind what we're doing in order to fix it or do better next time. That I think this is just sort of the tip of the iceberg of that type of stuff. And it was really interesting and kind of exciting to get a glimpse into what that could look like in the future.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. And kind of going, I guess, into that next layer of the iceberg, the big thing that I took away was sort of the ability for not just ICs, in your case, like an SDR listening to their call recordings, but for managers to be a lot more proactive about how they're coaching and developing the reps on their team. A lot of cases, when it comes to sort of like the SDR cycle of doom, as Maria Bros from Revenue.io put it, a lot of reps go through sort of like a slump, and then they get put on a PIP, and then they have to go through cold call coaching, and then they do some role plays, and then they get kind of pushed back out there. But it only happens when you see reps start to slump. In cases with Sybill and other conversation intelligence tools, it gives you, the manager, the opportunity to proactively understand where your reps are struggling, where they might need some more reinforcement around stuff like value propositions or objection handling, and give that to them before they hit that like low threshold point where they need coaching or have to go through the role play situation and get put back into that cycle. I think it's a really cool way for organizations to look at a more long-term, sustainable sales force rather than kind of letting people go out there and then sink or swim, and then as they start sinking, throw them the life preserver. Like, you want to give them the opportunity and knowledge to learn how to ask for help and swim back to shore rather than drain your resources trying to save them every time.
Right. Yeah. And it also gives those managers a way better idea of when they are drowning, right? Like, you can be proactive with it, but it also allows you to have that sort of baseline. Here's the A performer. We need to get you up there. Here's how we can get you there. A lot of that stuff. So that's awesome. Would you say, like, how much do you think this would affect a manager versus one that has nothing? Like, can you still be an effective manager without this kind of tool in the future? I guess would be my question.
For sure. I think this is very much still in the camp of, like, not nice to have. I would say it's pretty paramount for any organization to have like some way to record their calls, right? Even if you are doing it reactively, it's better than not doing it at all. So having the ability to look back at your tape, understand where you as an individual might have faltered, give you an opportunity to remember something that you forgot to do. Like if you told a prospect that you were going to send them a piece of content and you just forgot, but you listen back to the recording and you're like, oh shit, I didn't send them this thing. Like little things like that, like listening back to recordings can help you as an individual a ton, but it can also help managers. Even if you just listen to 2 or 3 a day in the morning when you're like waking up, and you pinpoint some areas that you've noticed a couple of reps slipping on, or a couple of reps doing something really well, being able to bring that to a team meeting focuses the meeting a little bit more, gives you something to anchor the conversation in. So not necessary, but like the core concept of listening back to your recordings and learning from those insights, absolutely something everyone should be doing. And to kind of wrap it all up and bring it up to the major takeaway that we had, it's not something that just sales can benefit from, but those insights, that anecdotal information, those trends that you're picking up through the recordings, they can help align your entire organization. You can bring in the product team because maybe your reps are talking about a feature that nobody cares about and you should sunset it, or they're hearing about something that your competitors are doing that you should absolutely refine and build into your platform. Same thing with marketing. Maybe your messaging isn't resonating with the audience that you thought it would, and you have to tweak it in some capacity because of what reps are hearing on the phone. So it's a great opportunity to align all of these different revenue generating departments based on the conversations that your reps are actually having with people. Like, who better to learn from than your audience, the people you're actually trying to sell to, right? So capturing all of that and being able to distribute it amongst your organization is a huge alignment tool.
Yeah, I love that. It takes the feedback loop that like happens really anecdotally, if at all, and gives it something to drive it and push it and spread it throughout the organization with the data behind it. I love it.
Yeah, awesome. Great. Well, hey, that was the big takeaway that we had for the episode. Make sure to sign up and get updates on all of our on-demand episodes moving forward. You'll get access to Nishit's, and then anything else that we have coming up, you'll get access to all of those as well. All of the information to do that will be below in the description or somewhere in some capacity on this page. You'll find it. It's out there somewhere. But if you register, you'll be able to watch the conversation in full, get all of those juicy insights, and help upskill your team.
All right, AJ, 15 seconds. Tell everybody about Opt-in.
Opt-in, quick 5-ish minute videos, actionable sales development tips, minimal fluff. You can find us on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on our Instagram, and on the website, demanddrive.com.
Fuck, I had a good... I remember thinking it and I was like, genius. And I was like, I'll remember that in the morning. Why would I think that? Why would I think that I could remember that in the morning?
And notepads and...
I'm not going to remember whatever the hell it was that I was trying to.
Okay, so well, hopefully it comes to you at some point.
Oh, I remember.
Let's go.
All right. You'll find it. Yes. I knew it.
Write it down right fucking now. Write it down.
Nope, I got it.
Steel trap, baby.